Alright, we're going to dispense with the intro and all this because I want to really kind of be straightforward with what I'm saying here, and I cannot raise my voice, so I'll try to be as clear and as very frequent as I can. Over the course of years, I've gone by the ThrashMetalGuru when I started the channel in Little Elm, Texas, in a two-story house in a suburban area. And when I first started out, I had this, teenage sort of attitude of handling it, and so that kind of evolved. And trust me, you'll know where I'm going with this. As the channel itself kind of began to improve a bit when I moved, unfortunately, I did make a few stories before about, some things that I've been going through. They may not be as bad as much people's things in their lives, but it's just something that I want to express. Then, of course, a year later, a friend of mine, or what I was going to say, a former friend at first, gave me this message, and it really hit me very hard because, when you wake up to something that really kind of scares the crap out of you, feeling that you're going to get the shit beat out of you for something that you didn't even know happened, and you got accused of it, being that you were, if you're in another state away, that was something that really affected me. That right there, the sort of message that I got from this person saying don't ever come back, not unless you want me to beat you to death, that became the catalyst to who I am today. Because back then I was just more of a random kind of guy, just talking in front of the camera, just having a chillax of a time. But as things got past that point, this is after the fact, when I received the message, my messages behind the camera, despite what positive or negative impact they had, it was still more in a dark tone than what it usually was.
Sorry about that, I got dirt all over the camera. I gotta clean that off.
But it was basically what this former friend said to me is what set me off. And this was 6 years ago, and to this day I keep talking about it. And it really fuels me. It fueled my anger, it fueled who I was. Typically it was the catalyst that kind of made more of this shift happen. Even though it was back in the ThrashMetalGuru days, ThrashMetalGuru itself still thrived from the remnants of the videos that I made off the ThrashMetalGuru, which were kind of inspired in a bizarre way by a friend of mine. So 6 years later, after enduring and keeping all these sentences of what this person said in my mind, it made me an angry person. People fucking hated me for it. They fucking hated me for some of that stuff that was said, and I panicked. For whatever reason, I don't know. But 6 years later, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna confront this. I'm gonna try to figure out why this was going on. So I ended up talking to him. I didn't say hi. I didn't say, hey, it's been 6 years, man. How you been? What I said to this person is that despite the fact that it's been 6 years, there's something I gotta ask you. And the response that he got, he was like, hey, what's up? And I felt kind of puzzled for a moment. But after all, 6 years does change a person. 6 years does a whole lot. And so I asked him about it. I asked him about, hey, what that message she gave me? I want to know what that's about. And the next response just, wow, it changed everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm still the same person that I am talking in front of you. Whether if I'm angry, talking in front of a camera, regular normal basis, or it's sad or anything, you're still going to see the same me that's fueled by that catalyst. However, though, this response that I got from this person was phenomenal. It's like, yeah, he said I was just, well, from what he's saying about himself was that, hey, I was just angry. This is just me back in like the teenage years, and I was just being an angry ass. Those were his words, by the way. I'm not really exact, but that's kind of what he's saying. But when he said all this, it was like, wow. So I didn't feel any more of the need to feel confrontational about it when he said, I'm sorry about it, dude. I very much am. And I took that like very well. I took it very well to heart, and he was like, hey, I forgive you. It's all said and done, whatever it was. But I wanted to keep the record straight, though, that I wouldn't do anything to this person. I didn't have an interest in this person's, better half or whatnot. It's never been my thing. I hate the fact that, let me put this more in a clear distance or a clear sentence part. There is a strong reason why I keep myself distant from people in relationships. I have a crush on two people that I did in high school, but they really had nothing to do with the situation that I guess that was going on. I was in another state in another time when this stuff was going on. And I guess it was just some regular high school drama stuff that really set someone off. And sure enough, I ended up receiving that. But 6 years later, we both forgave each other, despite what it was. None of it really happened, but, we got past it. It was like, you know what, hey, let bygones be bygones, despite whatever the case may be. And, I asked him, hey, we friends again? He was like, yeah, we're friends again. So what's the moral of this story? After 6 years of feeling so much rage and hate and anger built up inside, the best thing to do is to forgive. For me, not only have I forgiven this person, but I'm also good buds with this guy again. I remember back in the days we had so many things going on. We were like humorous buds. We laugh about a lot of stuff, and I'm glad that things are going back to the way they were after 6 years. This is one of the heaviest weights off of my shoulder. So that just leaves 2 people to go. And so, to another specific person, not the, one of the 2 that I'm mentioning, this specific person, I'm getting closer to finally lifting these weights off my shoulders. I don't care if you make fun of me for it, that's fine. But other than that, the moral of the story is to forgive. Don't carry hatred for someone for so long, or a grudge. Don't let it last over years. It's better to forgive than to carry that grudge inside of you. It's the size of it is infinite in size, as better as the feeling of hate. Forgiveness is more divine than anything that I've felt. So who knows what happens? So regardless, if you hate someone, it's just better to forgive them even if they hate you back, or if it's something that you feel you can't possibly forgive them for. It's just better to forgive. It makes you the better person. But in this instance, between me and him, there really is no better person. It's just, hey, we solved it out. But I'm saying, for any other people out there, this is a guru talk with you guys. Despite whatever happens, it's always better to forgive. Because that is what also makes a decent human being. That is something that shows true character. That is something that shows an improvement. And that is something that shows that the world is indeed becoming a better place. Better to forgive than to hate. So I feel like a new era, in a way. I feel like there's a new era approaching in my channel. But don't get me wrong, you're still going to see the same old me. The same me that was formed off that catalyst. But I feel pure again. I'm not really pure, but I feel whole again, almost. So, I'm going to end it off here. This is Jasper Winterbow, the ThrashMetalGuru. You guys have a wonderful night. And remember, forgiveness is divine.